All right, so now we are gonna go ahead and we are gonna cut clutch number 2 for the season. As always, I'm gonna show you the parents real quick. This is gonna be a super pastel female to a Trojan 100% het desert ghost, possible het hypo male. This was more of just kind of an experimental thing. This girl is known to lay large clutches, but because of moving everything, I didn't get to feed her quite as much as I wanted to in the beginning. So she did only lay, I believe it's 7 eggs. We're gonna double check that when we pull it out. I can't remember. We've had a few clutches go into the incubator, so I can't remember exactly how many her clutch was. I wanna say it was 7. Last season, we got 11 from her. Historically, from the other person we got her from, she has laid anywhere from 10 to 13. So this was a little bit of a small clutch for her. We have seen feeding correlate with clutch size. So if you are feeding on an appropriate schedule, not power feeding, but just feeding an appropriate size prey item on a regular schedule, then that does help increase litter size, or clutch size. Between rats and snakes, litter, clutch, you know what I mean. So this season, because of moving and things and reestablishing our rat colony, wasn't able to feed quite as much as I would have liked to get these girls up to a little bit. I try to feed them so where they're a normal size, they're a healthy size, but because they are going to be producing eggs and laying eggs, I try to give them a little bit more, kind of to fatten them up a little bit, if you will. And that's just to ensure that they are healthy for when they are building those eggs and laying them. And of course, after they lay them, sometimes it could take a little bit longer to get them back on feed. Some go back on feed quicker, and then some, it may take them a couple weeks to a month. So I just want to make sure that they're healthy for the next following season in order to produce and be healthy enough to produce healthy clutches. Now, we did have one female this season that we chose not to breed, and that was because she didn't get enough feed, and I felt she was kind of on the slender side, so we chose not to breed her. And as a ball python breeder, that is kind of your responsibility to judge whether your snakes are healthy or not. That's the responsibility of you to ensure the health of your animals and their longevity as far. So we always consider the health of our animal our first priority when breeding. So we did have one, was there another one? I can't remember. There might have been 2 females that we chose not to breed this year just because we didn't feel like they were healthy enough, they were fat enough to produce eggs. But let me go ahead and show you mom and dad real quick, and then we'll go ahead and cut those eggs. So mom was Nagini, and she is back on food already. Ooh, you made a duty. Look at that. So this is mom. She's a pretty big snake for a ball python. She is over 3,000 grams. So this tub is, we're glad we have the 70. She could probably go up in a little bit bigger tub. She will slender out and then until we bulk her back up on feed. So she ranges on the lower end, 2,800 grams. And then when she's going to lay eggs, upwards of 3,500 grams. And I will go ahead and get that poopy cleaned up right after we cut these. I haven't been in the tubs today to clean out anybody. All right, and Shermanis is our Trojan 100% het desert ghost, 50% het hypo that came from Justin Kabelka, also known as Canova now. So he was an absolute stud. He went to a few of our other girls this season, so we're hoping for great things from this dude. All right, so let's go ahead and get these out of the incubator. This was clutch number 1. They are in the process of doing their first shed. We already have clutch number 3 in here, and we are waiting on at least 5 more girls to lay here in the next month and a half. So let's go ahead and grab our clutch number 2. All right, so there were 7 eggs from this clutch. We had 0 slugs. All the eggs look really good in here right now. So we're gonna go ahead and open this up. There's a lot of condensation in here. Look at those pearly whites. And they've deflated quite nicely. So I need 2 hands now. So we're gonna go ahead and get this off. I tried to tip this to get some water off. And there's a little baby snake pushing back in there. It's so funny. Reminds me of babies when they're in mama's belly pushing back. Yep, so we got movement going on in there, which is really good. So let's go ahead and get some of these opened up. All right, so we got paper towel and some sterilized scissors. These are just some surgical scissors that I got off of Amazon. I like these ones because they do have a point if I need it, but they also have this stubby end, so that way if I need to put this in there, then I don't risk. It minimizes the risk of getting the snake. I'm by myself today, so I'm trying to show you guys as much as possible. So we didn't separate this clutch, but as it gets towards the end, it's actually a little bit easier to separate them. And then if for some reason we do tear it, I'm not too worried if there's a little bit of a tear, obviously, because now we're cutting them, so I don't have to worry about risking a baby. See, these come off pretty nicely with just one hand. I'm kind of trying to separate them a little bit so that way I can just kind of pull them out one by one. See, they kind of come off really nicely. And we'll get these ones in a second. There, now they are all separated. Now we can go ahead and get them cut, and then I'll kind of put them back in there nicely. Oh, we got some sunshine coming in now. All right, so baby number 1. So I'm pretty sure we've explained this in other videos, but we like to roll the top. It helps push the veins down to minimize cutting any of those veins. Not that it necessarily hurts the baby, but it just keeps a lot of that blood out there. Most of the time, these babies are going to sit in the incubator for about another day or 2. We kind of let them come out on their own. All right. Ooh, look how beautiful. Wow. This is my first time ever cutting Trojans, so I don't know exactly what they're supposed to look like, but this does not just look like a regular pastel. So I'm thinking this is a pastel Trojan. Look how beautiful. Let's see if we can get a better shot there. We lost our sunlight a little bit here. Look how light that is. Now, the Trojan gene is one of those genes where it's said to get brighter with age, and it is just a dominant. It's not a recessive, which makes it a little bit more desirable to take some of our projects to the next level with that brightness. Look how beautiful that is. All right, let's get to the next one. Otherwise healthy baby in there, moving around. Very cool. All right, baby number 2. Oh, wow. This is kind of the same thing. This doesn't look like a normal pastel. So we're going to have to wait till these come out a little bit better. I need to kind of look up because Trojans are pretty bright anyways, but Mom's a super pastel. So all of these babies are obviously going to be pastels, but these are a lot brighter than just a normal pastel. Pastels are typically a little bit darker. These are very, very bright. So we'll have to wait and see when they come out. And I'll have to look at some other pictures. This might be another pastel Trojan. All right, baby number 3. Like I said, this is my first time with doing Trojans, so I'm gonna have to do a lot more research. And then I'll do proper identification when we reveal the clutch after they completely shed out. And then obviously they get to come out on their own and we see exactly what they are. This one couldn't roll quite as good. wow, this one's quite bright too and doesn't have that dorsal striping like that. There's a fat little baby in there. Look at this. It's a fat little one in there. These look really bright compared to just normal pastels. So we're gonna have to wait and see when they come out. Look at that blushing. It's kind of cool looking because we have just regular pastels. So, I mean, those are pretty easy to identify. These are just really bright. And the pattern on that thing is kind of cool. So we're just gonna have to wait and see. Very nice looking baby. All right, so baby number 4. See if we can get a nice roll on this. Oh, we nicked a little bit of a vein there. Oh wow, the same thing, very bright. These almost look like super pastels. The way it has kind of the white on the dorsal like that blushings. But even for super pastels, these are pretty bright. But if for a super pastel, that would mean Daddy would have to be pastel. Man, I'm super excited for these to come out because kind of don't know what's going on right now. Very pretty though, very bright. All right, this is baby number 5. Oh, hello. There's a little head right there. Look. Hello. Welcome to the world. This one doesn't look quite as bright. This could just be just a pastel. But we shall see. All right. Baby number 6. Kind of the same thing. This one again could just be a pastel. Has that dorsal striping. So I'm starting to think that these ones with the dorsal striping are just pastels, and then those other ones with kind of the funkier pattern could be the Trojans. Get some of the goop. This one's goopy. All right, baby number 7. Well, hello, you. See, and again, this one has that funky pattern, so I'm thinking this might be a pastel Trojan. It's kind of hard to see the lighting in here. A little bit brighter, kind of has these dorsal, almost kind of reminds me of like an Enchi. You lose some of those dots and a little bit less patterning on the sides. Very cool. All right, well, that is clutch number 2. Like I said, So, I mean, out of this clutch, other than there are hets involved, mom is supposedly not het anything. So again, I mean, the most we could expect out of this clutch is they all carry pastel, and then dad is Trojan. So I'm thinking that these are a pastel Trojan, and then this is just a regular pastel, even though it's pretty bright. And then again, these would be Trojans. See, these look kind of similar, and they have that similar patterning. And then this one would be just a normal pastel. See a little more of the alien heads and the dorsal striping. This one has a little bit of that patterning, but it looks, these have a little bit of alien heads. So I don't know, maybe there could be something else in the mix. See, and then this, camera focus. And then this one has more alien heads and the dorsal striping. So again, we'll have to wait and see when they come out. Our season number 1, we only had 6 clutches, and out of the 6 clutches, we had 3 that threw us some extra genes. So before I kind of speculate on these, I do need to do some more research just to make sure that maybe we didn't have any other genes thrown in the mix. We had one clutch last season where we thought she was just a super fire, and we ended up with a super fire pastel orange dream Enchi that threw us some amazing babies. Now, I don't think this is the case in this one, but again, these almost have kind of an Enchi pattern to them. See if it'll focus on the baby and not my finger. And that has a little bit more of kind of orange tones than, say, that one, where it's missing the orange tones. But then you have this one, which I'm pretty sure is just a regular pastel with the dorsal patterning, regular alien heads. So, like I said, I don't know. The father came from JKR, which is known to kind of have some hidden stuff in there, depending on what Justin's been doing over the years. So, see, again, this one has a little bit of those orange tones as well. So I'm thinking that maybe these two are the Trojans, because obviously we have a Trojan. I need to look up what the pastel Trojans kind of look like, or any other variation, just to make sure we don't got nothing else going on. But the most we could hope out of this is hopefully some Trojan females that we can hold back for future projects. And then again, they will be possible het ghost and possible het hypo, or not het ghost, sorry, het desert ghost, possible het hypo. So that'll be awesome for the future. Now we're gonna go ahead and get these guys and gals back in the incubator. So our DIY incubator, as always, has been working absolutely amazing. And we hope one day to be able to fill this up and be able to make another one. So that is going to be super awesome in the future. Like I said, we had 6 clutches last season. We are hoping for at least 10 this season. We already have clutch number 3 in there, not due until you can see August 1st. And we have a few more girls that are supposed to lay. We were a little bit later in our season because of moving and trying to get everybody paired up, but we are super excited for the future. All right, guys, well, that is it for today's video of cutting clutch number 2. Our rat colony is doing amazing. We are hoping to be able to provide some to the community. We have our stock is just crazy. I'll be doing a rat breeding and care update video here pretty soon. I have my rack number 3 just about made, and it is already going to be completely full with breeding mamas, all albinos, because obviously we are trying to get our albino stock back up there, because that is what we want to be able to provide to our community. We've got some other announcements and things that are going to be coming up very, very soon, working on final details. So that is all going to be great. Not to mention, we have our ducks and our geese and our chickens, and we have our garden going. And I'm hoping here real soon we'll be able to do fishing and do some hiking, but we have so much to do around our house that we've been kind of stuck at home, which isn't a bad thing. Stuck at our home in Alaska, out in the wilderness with the amazing view that we have. It's been absolutely a dream come true. So thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing and sticking with us through this. And we hope to see you guys in the next one. Drop a comment down below if you have any comments, questions, concerns, or maybe you have an idea for a future video of things you would like me to go over. So again, thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay sane, get out there and make your own footprints. Bye.